Hello, I am Xarkun, and this is World of Warships Legends. Today, I've got a game for you on Tears of the Desert, and we are in the premium Tier 7 French battleship, Jean Bart. This game took place during one of my streams, and the Yudachi over there, played by Beastex, is the person that asked me to play this ship, ostensibly so that he could run the Yudachi, get into the same game as me, and try to torpedo me. And he will torpedo me, and he will succeed. But of course, he is my teammate, so it will not kill me. I think he wanted to end up on the enemy team, but the joke's on him. Now he's got to end up on the winning team. That's right, because the Jean Bart is a powerful ship, provided you play it correctly, which is why I wanted to do a commentary on this video. I haven't featured the Jean Bart in a long time, but I'm featuring it today to show what happens when the ship decides to go forward. Your typical Jean Bart player likes to sit on the back line, sniping across the map and being largely ineffective. Jean Bart is much more effective when it is able to push up closer to the enemies. And also, the Jean Bart is a ship that people still, to this day, like to accuse of being overpowered. And to that particular assessment, I say wrong. It is not overpowered, not in the slightest. And I will explain why as this game continues. If you disagree with that assessment right off the bat, feel free to hit the thumbs down button rather than the thumbs up button. But perhaps you'll change your mind when you listen to my arguments. In any case, we've got a broadside Gneisenau in front of us that needs some attention. We've given him some already, and we give him a little bit more there. End up doing 11,645 damage to him, and he is going to start angling away. He's lost a lot of hit points giving broadside to all of the friendly battleships over here. And now he's turning away. So I should say I'm running the Azurlane Dunkirk Commander, rank 11, Legendary 1, who comes with a skill that allows you to do this. When the guns are fully loaded with a particular shell type, in this case armor piercing, you can hit the reload button and switch to high explosive very quickly, in this case 11 seconds. And that's good for the French battleships largely and the Jean Bart in particular, because while the Jean Bart has excellent armor piercing, it also has pretty good high explosive, and there are situations in which you need to employ the high explosive. Say if you are in a prolonged battle with an enemy battleship that is nose into you, like in Iowa. Or if you want to do some damage and light fires on enemy battleships that are angling away from you. Or if you come up against a cruiser, say the Baltimore, whose nose armor you can't overmatch because you only have 15-inch guns. High explosive, good shell type for that. Unfortunately for us, an enemy Kagero is behind us, torping through the gap there. He's clearly running the reload booster. His first set of torps came nowhere near us, but this one is going to force us to maneuver. And unfortunately, it's going to force us to maneuver in such a way that we are now giving broadside to the Iowa out there 12 kilometers away from us. And of course, the Iowa is not going to miss a beat. He's going to take advantage of that. His shells land a little bit short, but it does look like they managed to find our citadel. So now we're going to have to turn to angle in toward him. That's the thing with destroyers launching torpedoes, creating sort of crossfires with their torpedoes. You gotta dodge them. Sometimes it means giving broadside to enemy battleships, and that is not good. So, nice play from the Kagero there. And by the way, the enemies have flipped our spawn cap, Delta, which is a little bit embarrassing and not great, but forget that for a moment, because here's another example of switching to the high explosive against a bow-in target. Obviously, the Iowa has 32mm bow armor, which our AP cannot overmatch. So we elect to use HE, aim at his superstructure, and bam! 11,000 damage with 7 out of 8 shell hits. Who knew Jean Bart's HE could be so effective? We're still chambering the high explosive, by the way, because the Iowa is still fairly angled. We would like to light a fire on him. And of course, the Iowa shoots at us with armor piercing and bounces all of his shells off of our angled bow armor, which is 32 millimeters. The Jean Bart is coated in 32 millimeter armor, and this is one of the reasons that people mistakenly believe it is overpowered. All of its firepower is concentrated in the front of the ship in 2 4-gun or quadruple gun turrets, which means in order to get all of your firepower on target, you only have to point the bow of your ship toward an enemy, which means you're always angled against anything except the Yamato, which can overmatch your bow armor. Nothing else can, though. So this is why people tend to think it's overpowered, because you never have to present broadside in order to get your maximum firepower. This assessment is completely incorrect. Had that Iowa shot high explosive at me rather than armor piercing, his shells would not have bounced off the armor, they would have penetrated, they would have done damage, and they would have possibly started a fire. The Jean Bart has a very easily exploitable weakness. Since it's coated in 32 millimeter armor, it is highly vulnerable to high explosive, especially high explosive from battleships and heavy cruisers with 203 millimeter guns. Additionally, it is vulnerable to any light cruisers that have access to the equilibrium of power skill, because their high explosive shells with that skill can penetrate any part of the Jean Bart's armor scheme apart from its turrets. So, next time you find yourself in a bow-to-bow battle with a Jean Bart, and you're in a battleship, consider switching to the high explosive and watch how quickly the ship melts. It would also be a good idea, if you could, to shoot armor piercing into the Jean Bart's turrets, because they aren't extremely strong, and they do tend to break. So, if you can break a Jean Bart's turrets with your armor piercing, force a damage control usage, and then follow that up with a high explosive salvo that lights a fire, you're well on your way to sinking the Jean Bart. But now, we are in a position where the Jean Bart's strong suit comes into play. We're sort of in between these islands here, basically standing off against this Roma and this Nelson. The Roma I'm not particularly afraid of if he's going to continue to shoot armor piercing. His shells might find their way into my superstructure, and the Jean Bart does have a lot of superstructure. You can definitely get armor piercing damage from it. But I'm going to fire HE at him. You can see that our shells hit him right in the bow. His bow is also 32 millimeters, and obviously the shells have no problem penetrating. They do damage. They also start a fire. This is exactly what you have to do to a Jean Bart. That's what the Roma should probably be doing to us. Although the Roma's high explosive is, from what I recall, pretty terrible. The Jean Bart has much better high explosive. In any case, we're backing off here. We've got some teammates in the Bravo cap. They're flipping it, which is going to give us a 3 cap advantage. Right now it's 3 ships versus 4 ships. Excuse any barking you hear in the background, by the way. That's my neighbor's dog. Hopefully it's not loud enough to hear. Anyway, continuing to lay down fire on the Roma, we're up to 106,000 damage. And now that we've backed off a little bit, the enemies are focused on the friendly battleship, who is desperately requesting a smoke screen from the last remaining friendly destroyer. Both those guys are shooting at him, so we're going to move up now, press our advantage. A York continues to pop around from behind that island, exposing himself momentarily to shoot high explosive at us, and you can see we've taken quite a bit of high explosive fire from various enemy ships, and our health has been whittled down to under half health, although we do have a repair party available. that will allow us to get back up to half health. That York there is stationary, playing with fire. He's lucky not to be deleted. Unfortunately, we do get a number of overpens on that salvo toward him. But now both the Roma, potentially the Roma and the Nelson, have noticed that we've moved up again. Did take some parting shots from them. Looks like they're going behind the island, though. And the Bismarck there in the Delta Cap, trying to retake it, is sailing forward. Looks like he's trying to get an angle on our broadside, which we can't allow. So we kick the ship into reverse and angle toward him, checking the position of both the Roma and the Nelson, who appear to be behind islands. Actually, the Nelson isn't. So that is a bit of a problem. We don't want to present broadside to either of them. That York is testing me or something. I don't know. He's got a sliver of health left, one gun, and goodbye, York. Whatever. Anyway, Bismarck is now giving broadside, which is excellent. We use the Jean Bart's reload booster, which, to be fair, is a very strong consumable. Might be another reason people say it's overpowered. But again, weak turrets, lightly armored for a battleship. It's a vulnerable ship. It's not overpowered. We do hit the Bismarck pretty hard. We're up to 154,000 damage. Nelson's coming around the corner, giving us broadside. Can we capitalize on that? No, looks like he's kind of turning out. So this salvo might be ineffective. Well, it's going to be very ineffective since the Nelson has just sunk. That just leaves the Bismarck left. We've got the high caliber and Confederate medals, 154,000 damage done, and 2 kills. And now we're in a position that is not historically accurate. It was back in the 1940s or whatever that the French were running from the German Blitzkrieg, but now we've got the Bismarck running from the Jean Bart Blitzkrieg. He's going to be around the corner from this island, hopefully giving us broadside, and hopefully we can finish him off quickly for our 3rd kill of the match, and then we can win the game. You can see that I'm on pretty low hit points. My hit points bar is in the red, and I've spent most of this game moving forward, backing up only when necessary. This is how your hit points bar should look at the end of a game. It means you've done your job as a battleship, and we certainly have done ours. We finished the game with 3 kills, I think 160,000 damage, and 2,900 base XP, nearly 3k. So, very good game on our part. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.